Hello there, I'm No One Important, and back at it again with Diaries of a Spaceport Janitor. Now, I've speedrun this game before. I'm actually the only person to ever speedrun it, so I still have the world record. Last time I did this, I had a sub-1 hour time, which is way better than I thought was possible, given that this is supposed to be an unspeedrunnable game, an anti-game even. But a viewer by name of Puddle was talking to me recently and mentioned a bunch of aspects of the game that I wasn't fully aware of before. So I decided, hey, I think I can use these new puddlestrats to shave off a couple minutes from my time. And I did, and it was great. So this is a post-commentary video again. Uh, I'm going to be maybe sounding like a broken record, talking about the same stuff. Not everyone will have seen the first video, and I thought was for the best. It's an hour-long run anyway, so there's, plenty of space to fill for this game. Aside from that, though, there's plenty of new aspects and mechanics to talk about, plenty of new fuck-ups and blunders, and I've got a brand new co-host here with me today, the ever-patient Carol. Carol, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello, I am Carol. I'm a friend. I'm an amateur game developer, and I have seen about 20 minutes of this game, so it's a new experience for me as well.
Well, thank you for that, Carol. Uh, so yeah, I think that's everything. Same game, new commentary, new aspects, new mechanics, new fuck-ups and blunders, and a brand new world record. So hopefully this will be an enjoyable run. Either way, it's a world record, so you know it's going up there. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna be maybe a bit of a motor mouth at the beginning of this run, have a lot of stuff to go over in a short period of time, but hopefully also be able to be understood. I think that's everything that needs to be said. Do you have anything you need to add?
I do not, so I think that we can begin.
All right then. So I think I'm just going to start the video now. You still see the window, right?
You'll need to re-enable screen share for me.
Right, thank you. It's good that we did that now. Yeah, always something. There you go, screen share enabled.
So we can
All right, so let's do this. Pressing play now. So first things first, unlike before where I just picked whatever goddess I wanted, I picked Loster this time because that is one of the mini puddle strats. It seems as though picking a specific goddess may or may not increase the drops of their fetishes, which we need to beat the game. So as you can see here, I'm just going to be burning a bunch of stuff, trying to see what's in this starting bank area. I'm going to go to the bank, get the 2 bone coins I can get to add a bit of cash to my inventory as soon as possible. We're going to drop that dungeon note. We're not really going to need it, and it's just going to stay there the entire run. But yeah, pray to Loster. Get some money for these bone coins using one of the new puddle strats to quickly open and close the menu for haggling. Before it was a bit slower, I believe, for me. So yeah, I'm going to be buying an Eye of Beb here after burning a bunch of extra trash. The reason I buy it, despite the fact that we're going to be skipping the intro of the game through a glitch of sorts, an intended glitch, but a glitch in this usage nonetheless. The reason we're buying this Eye of Bev here is because they are cheaper than the Eyes of Bev at the latter stages of the game, the ones you're supposed to buy to enter the sewer dungeon. I'm going to give the candle to get more luck. Praying at the Lotto Shrine to see if I get anything. I don't. I just get some trash, which I burn. So this is the day 0 skip. This is a intended way of getting to the top of this roof. It's supposed to be kind of a fun, goofy thing that doesn't help much. Instead, we're going to use it to go out of bounds at the intro. One of the new strats I tried was to use this altitude to get over the fence over there, since the fence over there is where you head for one of the endings of the game, and unfortunately didn't trigger an ending, but I found out that if you walk far enough, you find 4 the same version of yourself, the janitor. So that was fun, if not really useful. I'm gonna run around burning trash and picking up items and fetishes, seeing what I can find, because oh, what was I going to say? uh, yeah, day zero is really important because having an extra day like this gives us a chance to walk around and, get more money before the dual day or the day, I believe it's called. And the day is when we buy all of our fetishes and get to sell candles and crap. So it's great. I got a bed fetish before, but I just dropped it on the ground because I believe, I can't prove this, but I believe whichever fetish you get last is the one that spawns the least. And since beds spawn fucking constantly, no matter what you do, I always make it so it's never the last one I get. Before the last one I got was almost always Loster, but ever since using this new strat, I've been lucky enough to actually, you know, never get it last in any of the practice runs I did. So I believe this is why those new strats have added that really improves the run. By the way, you're still there, right, Carol?
I am. I was actually just going to ask if you could do a quick summary of the game and the gameplay loop and the goal that we have in this game.
Yeah, so it's going to become more clear once day zero is over. This is supposed to be the prologue where you get cursed by a skull, lose a bunch of luck and all that, but because we skipped out of bounds and skipped the initial sewer dungeon segment, we got a massive amount of time saved. Another bet, we're just going to drop it. So we both saved the time and the luck, although we're still going to get the skull in the end, so that's still an issue. The basic gist of the game is you're supposed to go around burning trash, praying to goddesses, giving them candles and other stuff to improve your luck, get better stuff off of the ground, find things to sell them. I got really good luck there and found a candle that sells for 50 on Today. That's always an amazing find. I actually get super unlucky and there isn't actually a candle merchant willing to buy it from me, so that would usually just kill the run for me. But that candle actually has a second use that is another one of the brand new puddle strats. I'm going to be showing it off here. So luck is a mechanic in this game. I can't prove that it helps much, but when you get higher luck, you seem to get better pickups off of the ground, like this candle and those slime coins I picked up earlier. The new puddle strat is there are certain items that give you more luck when you pick them up. Like it's supposed to be just a small amount, but if you drop it and pick it up over and over on the first day you get it, you can just grind luck because it keeps giving you the noise and the luck every time you do it.
But this doesn't work on any day after the first one?
Well, it only works on the first day when you pick up the item, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So if
Yeah.
I were to pick up this candle on day 3, it would still work, but it would only work on day 3.
Right. It's an interesting thing for it to work like that, but I suppose it's a glitch to start with.
It's maybe like a bit of an oversight, but I'm a speedrunner, so I'm willing to use it. We're going to be losing a bit of time on day 0 here because I'm using this trick, but being able to just grind up my luck so much so early on is really worth the time and effort. So, especially on day 0 of all days, since, I'm doing it right away, so it's just all the more time to get as much luck and drops as possible. So, hey, if I'm going to be wasting like 2 minutes just getting a bunch of luck for nothing, might as well. So yeah, we pray to goddess shrines, we drop off candles, we grind up a bunch of luck, and we also, you see, you get a bunch of luck, you get more and more candles, or 50 that would sell for 50 if you could sell them to anyone, but I don't over the course of this run. It is a testament to how well the paddle strats work that I got so unlucky as to not find a candle merchant after getting those 2 candles. And yet this is still world record by the end of this. We find our first fetish that isn't so bad. It is a Delvine. Delvines were for a while one of the fetishes that gave me the most problems. But here I am just randomly picking it up off the ground. I decide to grind out a bit more candle luck before I lose the chance to do so. Yeah, so it's the
So,
basic grind of the game. Sorry?
would you say that this is a very RNG-focused game?
It is an extremely RNG-focused game, and that's why we have to cheese it a bit. At the same time, I wouldn't say it's a game that's completely mindless and without strategy, because there was a time when I'd be doing like hour and a half, 2-hour runs, and it would just kind of suck. But now I have very consistent hour-long runs, sub 1 hour long runs, so I'm happy with that, and it proves that there's strategy necessary to this, and that really pleases me. Right there, we got the sewer dungeon text that you'd usually get for entering the sewer dungeon. The game doesn't quite understand that you're not supposed to be entering your home right now, but yeah, as you can see, I have a floating skull following me. I put away the fetish of Delvine and the Bebsai into my chest because I don't want to be carrying that around and have it clog up my inventory. Now, usually when you get the skull, you get like 100 points of curse. I don't get 100 points of curse. I do not get 100 points of curse because I never pick up the skull to begin with, technically. So just right there, we save like 100 luck right away and make a major difference in this run.
And that's convenient.
It's extremely convenient. It's a major game changer. It's one of the big reasons why the day zero skip changes so much, along with the fact that having a huge amount of money on today is extremely important. Now, regarding getting 2 candles, I can't remember the specific, or not 2 candles, the two bone coins at the beginning. I'm not entirely certain of how it works, but you know, I can't remember if you can get 2 candles on any day after. I think it might happen on day zero because day zero is not counted as a week per se. So, like, it messes with how the game considers how many bone coins you're supposed to have. Here we're going to sell our slime coins. They are worth way more than bone coins. Bone coins are worth 20. Slime coins are worth 50, so roughly the same amount as a candle, but they don't give you luck. Picked up Weird Spell Swatch. Truth is, I usually don't bother spelling or selling spell swatches because sure, they might sell for a bit, but for the ratio of time needed to sell them to amount of money you get, I don't find it worth it. A lot of times you'll see things that I could like sell for $2 or even $5. I just end up burning because I think, okay,
It's just not worth the opportunity cost of walking to the shop, and
some of them aren't even worth the time of opening the shop or sitting there and saying, looking at every piece of garbage and saying, okay, what is this? What can I sell it for? If I don't immediately say to myself, this is worth like $2, this is worth $10, this is worth $15, and I can sell it immediately, I just burn it because otherwise I'd be spending like 5 seconds on every piece of trash. So even if I end up burning something worth $15 one day, I try not to like let it discourage me because otherwise, like in the long run, I'd just be wasting more time than I'd lose.
Yeah, it's just not something you want to have to do in a speedrun.
There's the problem with spell swatches and why I don't sell them. They all look the same. That municipal credit chip I picked up, I just deposited. It's usually worth like $2 or $3. That one was worth 14, so I already knew this run was going places. Drop the Bab. I always keep bets on the floor instead of incinerating them because that way I know a Beb is going to spawn when I finally get all the other fetishes. Well, going to spawn, I know it's already spawned. That's a Loster. Usually I'd only pick that up at the end of the run because I would never find it otherwise. But here I am, finding it immediately, proving, at least as far as I'm concerned, that the strats I mentioned work. I burn the rare spell swatch because all spell swatches look the same and I'm never going to sell that thing. Instead, I pick up like illegal goods, which I can sell in this alley at night. And I know I can sell it here. I know it sells for a lot. So time to money gotten wise. Right then and there, I'm, you know, making a profit. So you mentioned you wanted me to tell the audience what the point of the game is, correct?
Or just what the general like gameplay loop is and what the goal and how you essentially finish the game.
Yeah, I had to like get off the subject because there's just so much to say at the beginning.
It's no problem.
But, yeah, right there, if you mash E while you're like loading into the apartment, when you try to leave the apartment, the game thinks you're talking to a red scarf. Right there, I tried to go to sleep for a night, but I went home too early, so I had to, you know, leave and do crap again. you can only go to sleep after a certain amount of time has passed, so you're just losing time if you go to bed early. But
And is there a way?
you still want to go to bed as early as possible, so you're not wasting time. You want to cycle through the days over and over and over again. What were you saying?
Is there a way to track this time in game, or is it just you have to get a feel for it?
You just have to get a feel for it. It gets darker and crap, and eventually, you get like curfew barricades going up. But if you're out late enough to see those, you're already kind of fucked up. Unless you're like there for a specific reason. Here I get another luck item. Gonna grind up my luck a bit. Fuck, what was I saying? Um, yeah, so the general gameplay thing is you have 3 quests you need to complete. You need to give a smut mag to some sleazeball to get 1 piece of a tablet. You need 3 pieces of a tablet to finish the game and get rid of your skull. The second piece of tablet is gained from going through the sewer dungeon using Eyes of Beb. The third piece of tablet is the hardest to get by far, and it involves finding one of every fetish, so 1 for each of the goddesses, so all 9 goddesses. So you need to get all 3 fetishes, all 9 goddess, all 9 fetishes, all 3 tablet pieces. You have to combine them, and then you have to fulfill one of 3 other requirements needed to actually use the tablet and finish the game. Now, those requirements are you could have $600, which is by far the easiest thing to do and why the money grind is so important in this game, other than needing to spend a bunch of money buying fetishes and $60 to buy the magazine for the slab. You could get 5 mega batteries. That's not happening. You could get really lucky and find the mystic, whatever spell swatch. That happened to me the first time I played. I picked it up right next to the person who wanted it. That's never happening again, so I stick with the money grind. I'm making sense right now, right?
You are.
So yeah, that's the point of the game. You run around burning trash, getting money, eating food at the end of the night so you can actually go to sleep. You're supposed to buy like gender glyph pills or shit to do gender morphing stuff, but I can't afford to spend the money on it. One of the puddlestrats that was mentioned is that using those might actually up your luck a bit, but I can't justify like going into the shop menu and picking them up so often.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, there was another puddlestrat I forgot. I can't remember what it was right now, unfortunately, but I think I've gone over most of them so far. Right now it is Fede. It's like this big, fancy, fun festival day with really nice music. Trying to get back on my train of thought right now. Today's the day where we buy most of the fetishes because all the shops are selling them and most of them are really, really cheap. It's also a day when weapons sell really well, things sell really well in general, candles sell really well. You saw me earlier like look at an Agramona fetish and it was selling for like $90, which is a ripoff. I think I got it for like $30 or something. Most of them are like 30 to 50 bucks today, or 20 to 50 bucks today, when they'd usually sell for like 60 to 100, being generous. I actually get super unlucky buying them today because I only find like a handful, and this is the point, along with the fact that I couldn't find anywhere to sell the candles. I thought, okay, this run is fucking dead. But you know, I had really good luck in its own way finding another fetish right here. These are like extremely common today, but I'm just mentioning I found another one. I decided to give this run a chance, and ultimately it paid off. I don't sound too haggard right now, do I?
You do not. I am just letting you explain things. I'm sorry if I'm not talking too much.
Oh no, don't worry. I appreciate it. There's just, as you can say, I'm just like losing my train of thought so often because it's like you wouldn't believe it, but this speedrun is actually really fast-paced and frantic for me. So
there's just like a lot. It seems like there's just a lot to keep in mind and a lot to just balance on your plate.
Yeah.
because it seems like it's mostly all decision making at that point, because it's not very mechanically intensive. You just have to like keep in mind everything you need to do and what you need to be doing soon and like what everything does and how you're going to route it out, right?
Yeah, like I burned nutrient chalk there without really like looking at what it was because nutrient chalk isn't on my list of things to pay attention for. And technically you can eat it, might make you vomit and that wastes time and shit. But ultimately I sat down and said, okay, I'm just gonna take the 0.5 seconds to look at it, then I'm gonna burn it.
Yeah.
So you might have noticed that while I deviate a bit every day to, see what's accumulated on the ground between days and other passages, there's a gun. I'm gonna sell it for a lot of money. Burning a candle because I like having candles, but they're not really worth more to me than money since the whole point of luck is to get fetishes and money. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And you mainly use the candles to offer them to gods for luck, correct?
Yeah. Now, just like I could either get luck or I could cut the middleman out and just get the money.
Mm-hmm.
So I usually take the money. What was I saying a minute ago? I might need you to just remind me every so often.
I'm not sure. I'm sorry.
Oh yes, I have kind of like a set path I stay on. I don't always perfectly follow it. Here I am burning the cloth scrap because well, I know I can sell it somewhere. I'm not going to sell it somewhere. I'm going to sell the plastic cloth belt way faster. I have a set path I walk down that I change from a bit every day to find new paths, but basically it's like a kind of semi-optimal path for goddesses and just picking up trash. And the thing about goddesses that I learned is when I was first doing the speed run, I had a path where I prayed to every goddess every day and I gave like all of them offerings. And I was sitting there like, my luck sucks. What the fuck am I doing wrong? And this is a very poorly documented game. I was the only person who sat down and really figured out a lot of like the nitty-gritty of it. And even until just recently, I was the only person. The only other person right now who knows the game other than the developers is the puddle that I mentioned who like offered up most of the puddle strats that kept this run going on a silver platter. And
Very
the devs aren't really like forthcoming with their information. This game is extremely
Of
arcane.
course not. That's probably the point of the game, honestly.
Yeah, like it's an anti-game. It's not you're not supposed to speedrun it. But I sat down, trial and error, tried to figure it out like why the fuck does my luck suck so much? Here I ended up like having to buy a $100 Havlana fetish because they end up being really rare and really expensive. And I don't think I buy this one. I think I buy a $99 one. But like they either cost like $100 if you're lucky or $400. And the only way you're getting it cheaper is on Fide if you can find it where it's like 50 bucks. I didn't, so I have to buy like a $100 one. See 99.9. But yeah, goddess luck. I was going around praying to goddesses every day, like everyone. I had this perfect route planned out. My luck fucking sucked. I was like, what's going on? I should be doing everything right here. Why can't I get this down to lower than 3 hours? I looked into like the obscure in-game, not in-game, like buried in the folder instruction manual that is packaged with the game. Like the really small thing, I sell balls of cloth there for a lot of money. Balls of cloth are easy to sell and worth a lot, except like a few specific ones that are hard to remember that are kind of worth crap. Oh yeah, it's still today, so I guess I still had to find a 99.9 Havlana fetish, but every other day it's like 150 bucks. So I was like, fuck it, I don't care if I'm getting like a really shitty price for it being today. I'm selling this thing regardless or I'm buying this thing regardless because I won't get a chance otherwise. Once again, sorry that I'm losing track of thought so much, but otherwise I would just let something important completely pass for something that I can explain later, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense. You were talking about goddess routing and not working?
So looking at this obscure, tiny little file, this PDF in the Steam page folder. You know what I mean? Like the
Mm-hmm.
shit no one goes and checks out. It's
The
mentioned
install
on,
folder?
yeah, like the
Or.
install folder,
Mm-hmm.
Steam apps folder, like the shit that very few people actually take the time to check out, even if it is mentioned on
Mm-hmm.
the
You only really generally go on there if you have a technical issue or if it's some kind of meta game like DDLC.
or if you're adding like mods.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's mentioned on the what's it called? The splash screen. The fuck, what's the intro screen called? Where you do start new game, that shit.
Probably just like the tutorial screen or
What
splash screen or introduction, whatever. It doesn't
whatever
really
it's called.
matter.
It mentions that the PDF is there, but
Mm-hmm.
you know, no one checks that. I was desperate. I checked it. The goddesses do not like tryhards. The game actively tanks your fucking luck if you sit down and try to do it perfectly.
So, that's wonderful.
So instead, I have this route that's, kind of faster because I don't go literally everywhere. As you can see there, I'm missing two goddesses, Onus and can't remember the other goddess's name right now, but they're the goddesses of like, I don't know, bullshit. They're not Loster, they're not Delvine, they're not Beb, so I tend to forget. All the
Not
goddesses are
working.
great. All of them have wonderful designs, don't get me wrong, but having entered full speedrun mode, I only memorized the goddesses that fuck me.
Hmm.
Here I am buying like a fetish of Honest for like 3 times what it's worth, but it's worth it because I have it. Otherwise, you're just running around not finding her in any shops when you really need her. And you can't like loop the week around, right? You can't go 9 days because every day lasts for a set amount of time. So, like, given that the current speedrun record is sub 1 hour, it's literally impossible, at least without glitches that I don't know about thus far, to loop the week around without losing world record. So you have your once a
Oh, that's
day,
unfortunate.
and that's it. You're out after that. So if you don't sell your fat candles on day one and get your $50, or the day one, you're done. Weeks, there's one day of the week for every goddess. So there's 9 days instead of 7 days. So you cannot afford to fuck up the day. Another reason why day zero was so important. There's only one a day, and it's 2 days into the week. So you need to have as much money as soon as possible.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see, dungeon note's still there. Never disappears. I drop a Loster candle here. I can't actually tell if dropping a goddess's specific candle actually improves another fucking bed. The Lotto Shrines just spew these things out. I can't actually tell if, like, giving a goddess her specific candle improves your luck, but, I do it anyway. I imagine it does.
It might, but if you're too perfect, they might not like you because you're being a tryhard.
Well, I gave Delvine a candle of her own at the beginning of this run, and she fucking hated it. There's like, Carol here can't actually hear the game's audio right now, but there's like good luck sounds and bad luck sounds at play, and you've probably picked up on them by now, despite me never shutting up. And like the bad luck sound played when I gave Delvine her special candle, so who knows, that might be it. But
Goddesses are fickle.
despite the fact that this game is arcane, it's also fair. I skipped over it to maintain my train of thought for once, but earlier you may have seen me look at a shop. I just randomly run into the Vala fetish, which is the last fetish I need other than the bed, so I'm on amazing pace right now. I just need money at this point. And I dropped my train of thought again to talk about something in a moment. I wasted a bit of time for the sake of run, like the video. talking to a shopkeeper who was selling a Helvetica or whatever fetish because I wanted to show everyone, hey, look at this. This fetish costs like $150 or $400 today. It may seem fucking stupid that I spent like an extra $50 on such a money grind heavy run, but otherwise the run would be dead.
Just opportunity cost.
Yeah. Like, once again, it's a very RNG heavy run, but it's also about split decisions. Like, you have to know enough about the run to sit down and say, I need to buy this. I don't care if it's suboptimal. I literally need to do this right now. I need to burn this as fast as possible. I need to get going because you just can't afford the time.
Mm-hmm. It's extremely knowledge heavy.
So at this point, it would usually be like a neck and neck race of what happens first. Either I get 600 credits like an hour in, or I find a loster. I need to do both, but you know, one or the other is going to happen. But once again, because of the puddle strat, I keep saying puddle strats. I'm having fun saying it. It's always fun to just have nice things to say like that. I'm probably going to put it in the video title, just like spice things up a bit. I hope it's not
It's a,
annoying.
it's a nice call out to the guy as well.
They were nice enough to, you know, reach out to me and say, hey, this was a really nice run. Thank you for showing it off.
Mm-hmm.
Good. I'm very worn down right now. I was sick earlier. I just realized I lost my train of thought midway through saying something over again. There, I put away my candles because I realized, fuck it, I just need to get them out of my inventory. Also, you notice I just like hold A every day on the A or E every day on the diary. You literally need to type something into the diary to continue to the next day. So I need to like hold something and then mash enter. But the train of
Mm-hmm.
thought I lost before is if we seem kind of worn down and weary, it's because I found out that something like fucked up in my microphone before. And we were like, well, I was freaked out because I don't want to waste Carell's time here, you know what I mean? Like, I always worry about
You're
wasting my co-commenter's time, but my
you
microphone
are
started
fine.
crapping out, and I had to sit down and say, well, I guess I'm gonna plug my microphone into the back of my computer, see if that works better. Seems to be working better. Hopefully it doesn't crap out 20 minutes from now, but seems to be working better. Um, but yeah, currently I am actually sitting in a smaller non-office chair, crouched down in front of my computer because my microphone is plugged into, with its extremely tiny wire, the back of my computer.
It works, but at what cost?
So yeah, this is just the daily grind. You'll notice that I'm just taking a second to gain my breath because I have not gotten a chance to stop talking over the entire course of this run. But this is it. This is the grind. I'm finally done picking up fat candles in fetishes, and now I'm just getting money. And it's such a relief. I'm so sorry for that. Like,
So
I'm so sorry I couldn't maintain a train of thought for like 20 seconds.
you're fine. You're really fine. Like, don't worry about it. So with the fat candles, if you can't sell them, is there anything you can do with them? Or are they just kind of useless if you never find a chance to sell them?
The what?
The fat candles?
You can sell them for like $3. You know, theoretically I could do it. I don't out of spite.
Understandable, honestly.
Like, the thought is so insulting to me. I pick up a Havana here despite the fact I already hear it out of spite because I spent $100 on that thing before. That's a piece of armor I got at the Lotto Shrine worth like $50 or $20 depending on the day. Always pick it up. Like armor weapons so well depending on the day. Armor in particular, I think, but you know, guns sell for like $50 on the day. But yeah, I picked up that Helvetica, Helvana, whatever, because I was floored at the fact that I found another one. I believe that it's way more common to find fetishes after you've already found them. Like after you buy them or something. I have this feeling that they start appearing on the ground more.
Just to mess with you.
But it still kind of like pisses me off more and more in like these later runs when I like buy a fetish and then find it on the ground, or I find like 20 losters after they've ended like 20 of my runs.
Mm-hmm.
Here I sell my armor for like $50. I got the more expensive armor, I think, so that was nice.
Now, can you do anything with the extra fetishes that you get, or are they just kind of useless and sit in your inventory?
For all I know, you can give them to goddesses, but I just burned them.
I'm so proud of you.
Oh, one of the things, the other puddle strat that I forgot to mention that I lost my train of thought on, more slime coins, amazing, $50 right there, is that let's say there's an item sitting in front of a goddess, whether it's one that you gave them the previous day, not that same day, or if it's just one that was sitting there. If you just look at it and drop it, you'll get luck for it all over again.
Interesting.
Yeah. So right now I'm doing like really well money-wise for like 35 minutes in. Like the last like 200 is always the worst, but it's still just the last 200. I burned the trading card there. Trading cards can sell for a good amount of money, but only some of them are like decently easy to find in shops. So I don't always carry them around when I can, even if like I'm only carrying around something worth like $2, sometimes it's just better than just wasting space and time.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I know that you're not too familiar with the game, but how's it look being speedrun?
It honestly looks. I actually was thinking that it looks pretty interesting to speedrun. I'm surprised more people haven't tried to do it because it does seem like really deep for what it is and really like complex to sink into.
Honestly, it's not just that it doesn't have like a huge speedrunning community, it's just like the community is small in general.
Mm. And I had never heard of the game before you mentioned it, so I'm not surprised.
You know, like you have your gamer dudes who are really, really annoyed that the game involves anything in like a gender mechanic. So,
Yeah, I can imagine.
um,
Honestly, I'm surprised that didn't like make it more well-known controversy, but
it's a fun game. I enjoy it. A lot of people I know enjoy it. It's hard to tell over the course of the speedrun. I know I'm like, oh, I can only remember like 3 goddesses basically, but when I'm not in speedrun mode, this game has so much charm. It's a really nice, really relaxing thing to just sit down and mess around with, see what things you're lucky enough to find that day.
it really does look very relaxing and very much like a almost Animal Crossing like type of just game where you zone out and just kind of do stuff and walk around.
If you're watching this and you don't own Diaries of a Spaceport Janitor, I'd recommend getting it. Like, how much does it cost? I don't know if you could look that up or something. I'm not gonna like switch my windows around just in case because I don't want to mess up the recording.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It is $10, so pretty cheap for what it is. We'll probably get a time out of it just looking at it here.
So, what'd you say? Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
It is $10, and I'd say that's pretty worth it for something that you'll probably get a lot of time out of just looking at it.
Like, I'm speedrunning in under an hour, but usually this is it's a long fucking game for what it is, in a kind of good way, in my opinion. Like, for a speed run, it can be kind of a nightmare because it's extremely random. I mentioned that you get money for burning trash, right?
You didn't mention it outright, but I kind of
You picked
like
up on
figured
it.
it out.
Like
Yeah.
every day in the morning, you look at your shrine. I check my luck index, and aside from that, you also get to, like, before you open the door, you have to like accept your money for a day, where it gives you money based on how much trash you burned previously.
Mhm.
The mechanics on that are arcane. I saw someone mention that burning vomit seems to give you nothing. So maybe that's why I felt like, oh, later days in the game give you like no money because I was just vomiting constantly from the food I was eating and possibly just not gender shifting. So, you know,
And that might be if that's the case, that might make it worth it to take your pills.
but like you
But
can get $60 one day, $10 another for the same amount of trash, seemingly. But
it
I
might
skipped
just be random as well.
I skipped
Sorry.
over it at the mo. Oh, sorry. It could just be random. That's very possible. This game is arcane. But I skipped over it when it happened because I wanted to get a thought out without jumping around again because I'm trying to make good commentary here. It's just really impossible with this game. Not the game's fault, just because it's a speed run. But so you saw that guy in the red scarf, talk to me there before. I didn't
Hmm.
talk to the red scarf. The red scarf initiates conversation with you if you get too close. Um,
Hmm.
no matter what you say to the red scarf, it will eat your money. It will eat a lot of money. It will keep you below $600. So I guess the idea is you're supposed to avoid them. I don't do that. If you're a red scarf, don't talk to me. I just hit escape and I walk away. I literally walk away from the conversation.
Don't talk to strangers.
But, and now everyone gets a kick out of the ability to do that. You just hit enter and waltz away from the guy trying to mug you on the street. The black merchant,
Honestly, like,
oh, sorry,
that's a power move.
it is, you know, just walk away from cops. Black merchant is great, easy to find, everything sells for quite a bit. Uh, Here I have $600. I need like 50 more to get the smut that I need for the final piece of the whatchamacallit slab. I need the final slab piece. You'll notice that even though I could theoretically get the second slab piece and the fetish slab piece at any time I wanted to, like I could just duck into dungeon whenever I have an Eye of Beb. I don't end up doing that because I need to get the other stuff anyways, and I have a very specific path planned out that lets me just go, hey, I can just walk around getting all this crap at once.
It's
Uh,
just more efficient to route it out that way.
yeah, like I just do it all in one day. You have to talk to the person who gives you the fetish piece the day earlier, I believe. But that's easy enough to set up. There, as you saw, I only got $20 instead of 60. Um, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I could theoretically buy the smut as soon as I have like $50, which I pretty much always have. But I don't do that because the truth is there's like a very small chance of finding the smut you need at like a lottery shrine or something instead of spending the $50 on it, or you can find it on the ground. I need to get $600 or spell swatch no matter what. So I basically just decide, okay, I'm gonna get the $600 first, and then I'll see if I fucking pick up the smut along the way. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
rather
It's
than
just
doing
efficient to do it.
the fetish thing and waste spending $60 on something I can get any day and having it appear on the ground later. So I bought the smut. I believe I talked to the lady who gives me the thing. Here I'm just like praying for luck and crap because I want to make sure I have extra money. We're going to use this sewer dungeon entrance, the secret one kind of, to get in there quickly. It's very close to the house, and when you get caught by the monster and leave the sewer dungeon that way, it spits you out right next to where the the fetish lab piece tablet lady is. The sewer dungeon. It's all first person. You walk very slowly in here, but it's a set layout. There's a monster in here. As you can see, you are being hunted that tries to catch you and kick you out, wasting your eye of Beb and all that. We only need one eye of Beb, and as long as we keep moving, I don't think the monster can actually catch us. Along with that, the day zero skip messes with its AI and pathing or something because, like, usually I run into it midway through walking to a tablet. There's a skull there giving us a bit of a jump scare.
Our friend.
Our screaming friend. Carol here can't hear the screaming. I can always hear the screaming. I fucking hate the screaming.
Oh, does it constantly scream? That's wonderful.
It's another bonus to day zero. No screaming skull for a day. But, yeah, like I walk through the whole sewer dungeon without it catching up to me. And I just pick up the tablet piece. And usually I could just like walk backwards and have it teleport me out. Instead, I have to like wander around and wait for it to show up. Either way, getting caught by it is faster than walking out because it kicks you out to like the next part of our route. But yeah, just waiting here for what has been dubbed the Starbucks monster to appear, otherwise known as the ghost. You'll see why it's called the Starbucks monster once it clips through a wall. Can I just say that it could just be me, but I really, really, really love these graphics. Like
The
I love
art is
this. I
so
love the
good.
pseudo 3D thing.
It's a Starbucks monster. Yeah, I adore that graphic style.
Yeah.
That kind of lo-fi, like PS1 3D type of deal, but in the more like smoother modern styles, something I really, really like.
And it's not like half-assed. It's like a genuinely good aesthetic.
Yeah, definitely. It's not trying to be more than it is, which makes it look a lot better than like older 3D games which are trying to be cutting edge and stuff. Whereas this kind of revels in its lo-fi aesthetic.
So, honestly, I'm like kind of secretly inspired by like the way it does 3D.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. It's given me a lot of inspiration as well because I've been thinking about making something in a similar style.
Like this and I'm Scared both feel like a similar thing. I
Yeah,
just really
definitely.
like it. But anyways, there's the smut guy that we need to give the thing to. As you can see here, I'm finally doing my splits after like an hour, making really good time here. I came right out of the sewer dungeon, got the second piece. I'm selling these for like $30 or something, getting the money I need for the final person. I'm going to waste a bit of time today, despite the fact that I kind of have the money, and do one more day of the game because I have $600 and that's how much you need, right?
Hmm.
But you can't go to sleep hungry, and you need to go to
Oh
sleep to
no.
finish the game. So I only have $2 more than I need, and I don't know what happens if you try to go to sleep when you have $2. I'm sitting here like 11 minutes ahead of schedule, and I'm realizing, okay, I could burn this amazing run, or I could do safety strats and lose like 4 or 5 minutes making sure I can finish the game.
Yeah.
You can tell which one I chose because
Yeah, it's world record anyway, so you might as well not lose the run.
like it's late, but you can see me not going home right now. I'm literally looking around for like anything I can sell or whatever to see if I can not do that. I don't find anything. So yeah, this has been most of the run so far. My microphone hasn't died again.
Good for us.
Man, I might need to keep my computer in this position in the future
I'm
because
so sorry.
I don't know if the first microphone thing is crapped out permanently. I'm actually not feeling too uncomfortable. I forgot I was doing it like this. I pick up the Astrogold thing, whatever there, even though I don't really know many merchants that buy it, because I know some merchants buy it. I need to like take a gamble right now. Like when I say there are fuck ups and blunders, there's like the candle thing. There's me buying the Helvetica or whatever for $100. When I find that like a few days later, there's whatever the fuck this is. But thanks again to Puddle. I keep mentioning them. Thanks again for that was a jewelry merchant. Couldn't buy my thing. Thanks again for the strats because even though I turned this run into a train wreck, even though I didn't forget the Eye of Bed this time like I did last time.
Oh no.
Yeah, I forgot it at home the first time and like there was serious panic to save like 1 hour time. Even though this run ended up fucked up in a lot of ways. This new strategy saved the run. Like all these new strategies saved the run, as you can see. Because even if I had to do safety strats, I was also like 11 minutes ahead of time. There I am burning extra trash to be sure I can go to sleep the next day. So yeah, this was Diaries of a Spaceport Janitor. Tomorrow we're going to pay off the adventurer, go to sleep, and then finish the game by telling us all to fuck off instead of taking their uplifting message of trying to better oneself, because that is technically faster, because the credits play right away.
Honestly, like, goals. I will never change. I will never improve. That is a promise.
What was that? Sorry.
I said, I will never change. I will never improve. That is a promise.
It's fairly relatable, I suppose. Here you see me walking along these fast strips to a place I've never been before. This is the person you pay $600 to. There are other people you pay other things to, but we never do that over the course of the run. Just hit my desk with my leg, but I didn't really feel it, so it's okay. Sorry for the pause earlier after you spoke where I had to ask you to repeat yourself. I was like, taking a few seconds to see if my deaf ass could like parse what you said, but I didn't, unfortunately.
That's totally fine. I do not mind repeating this stuff.
I'm gonna like sell a few more things because, you know, you have to stay out for so long during the day, and I want to make sure that since I have to stay out for this long, I have enough money to go to sleep at night. I got like a municipal credit chip, which is free money. I got some explosive stuff, free money. I got some coin bricks, free money. So figure, hey, it's morning. I have to walk around waiting for the game to end, even though I've gotten rid of the skull. Might as well do this. I basically just prayed there out of habit. I didn't mention it before, but you'll notice a lot of time I sell something, like I haggle, but I don't always sell something for as much as I could. Once again, snap decisions. Do I sit here and haggle for like an extra 0.5 bucks, or do I just sell it and decide, okay, I could get $1 per second selling this, or I could get 0.3 per second selling this because I kept haggling.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I honestly haggle a bit too much sometimes with things like scrap metal. It's a bad habit for a speed run, but you know, if you're a cop, if you're a red scarf, do not talk to me. Selling my crap here for like $5, even though it's worth like 50 on today or 13 bucks on other days. But you know, I don't need money anymore, so who cares? So yeah, even though this was a wasted extra day, it's a
It's like a
completed
victory lap.
it's a completed run, so I'm not complaining. There's time to shave off. There's still a chance for the community to be competitive. You know, it's theoretically possible to sit down and fucking get yourself a random day one mythic spell swatch and just skip the money grind. So
Just just sit down and grind it out until you get the god run and you don't
I'm
mess
just
up and you just
I'm just saying, if any of you want to have a world record, it's there.
please
More,
play this game.
what was that?
Said please play this game.
Please play this game. It's really good. And I'm happy I got more enjoyment out of it than like what I would have done running alone. You know what I mean? Here's the ending sequence. We tell Skull to fuck off. I have to be sure not to click too fast here. Because if I hit OK, I have to walk around and do more credit stuff. Time is once the credits appear. And the reason I do that instead of at the final input is because if I say yes there, I have to like do this whole walking sequence where it like fades out to the credits. And otherwise it's like, okay, I'm still walking. When's the final input? Here I consider
Mm-hmm.
the final input to be the second the credits show up. So, it works best so you're not making the run an incomprehensible mess if you accidentally say yes by mashing too fast. So, yeah, I realize like technically I don't actually know. I'm gonna like pause the video here because it's pretty much over. Just showing off my crap. Technically, I don't actually know if you have to like spend the last day doing stuff or if you can just go to sleep right away. I imagine you can't go to sleep right away because you never can any day else, but new things you could test. I only realized I didn't know that at the end of the run there, but yeah, 6 minutes off my world record.
I'm so proud of you.
It's a really fun run. Check out this
It
game.
does look good.
It's cheap. Even if you don't get the full effect of the aesthetic and everything from just this run, like check it out. I've got to stop myself from being a record and end the video here. Do you have anything else to say?
I don't, besides the fact that I'm glad I saw it and I'm glad I was here to see it because it looks like a good game and I'm actually pretty interested in it now. I might check it out myself.
Well, I hope you enjoy. Thanks for watching the video. Sorry if I sound like a horse motor mouth the entire time, but it can't be avoided. So, yeah.
You are fine.
Sorry, what was that?
You are fine.
Well, thank you for that. And thank you for joining me. New world record. I'm happy. Thanks for watching. Bye.